So traders, let's have a look around the markets today to see what has been going on with the markets and what we can expect right now and what's actually going on right now when it comes to this here. And let's start off with, let's start off with the Dow Jones. Let's start off with here because one of the big things I'm watching right now is, and I was doing a session with my clients today. And man, we went through so much stuff today. Right now, guys, I'm looking at this level here, and one thing I've noticed is this, right? So you'll notice that the last time we had a pretty significant drop on the Dow Jones, you will notice that whenever this move on the downside has ended, we end up getting what's called a breakaway gap, where it breaks away from that movement and we have a move up. And there's been a few times that this has happened, right? So we can see here we've had this drop through here. We create this breakaway gap here, gap up, and then we end up having a bit of a move up. But the last time we actually had a significant movement on the downside, and then what we see through here is we see that we end up getting this gap up, and we have a nice up day, and then we end up making a move to the upside. Now, this gap up here tends to be what's called a breakaway gap. Now, a breakaway gap is when the market has been sort of doing, either sideways or it's been dropping in this case. And now we create this gap up here, and that breakaway gap tends to be the start of a really nice move to come out of the actual markets from there. And so we can see what's happened through here on the Dow Jones. We've come down through to here. And then we came down, and we came up. Look at this here. And now we created this gap here. And this gap right here, right, is what's called, I believe, is going to be what's called a breakaway gap. Now, I personally have, that's the Dow Jones through there. I personally have on the S&P 500, I have a target of 7,000. I believe we're going to get the 7,000 this year. And so, where are we? Right up here. Right up this guy up here. I believe we're going to start to make a move to the upside from here. Now, one thing that is so important to do in this market right now is not throw your thoughts at this here. Don't throw your thoughts. Let the market tell you, okay? One of the biggest mistakes I'm seeing most amateurs following these markets is they're saying, oh, this is a dead cat bounce. It's definitely going to go down. I don't know that, and you don't know that. Stay humble. Don't think you know what's going to definitely come. Let the market tell you that, right? Because if you're like, oh, the market's definitely going to crash, that's it, the top's definitely in, and you're so dogmatic on you saying the top's going to be in, but yet if the market does do this, and we hold, and we get a rally, and we get a rally, and we get a rally, and we get a rally like that, your thinking is wrong then, because the market is saying, no, this is not the top. Because a top in the market, what would the market do if this is going to be the top? So stay humble. And even for myself, I don't know if this is going to be the top or not. I have a target of 7,000, but it's so important to humble yourself and not be like, think you know what's definitely going to come, right? And one of the biggest mistakes you're making is, or a lot of people making, is they're inserting whatever they think, right? They're always looking for a top in the markets. Just, traders, if you want longevity in the markets, in the last couple of years, has you been trying to call tops, double tops, heads and shoulders, reversal patterns, tops in markets, big crashes? How's that been working out well for you? Well, if you just flip it and just go with the overall market, you're probably going to have much better chances of actually being really good in these markets and doing really well for a long time, okay? So if this is going to be the top in the markets, the market will roll over. Don't sit there and say, well, I know what's going to happen. This is definitely a dead cat bounce. No, right? Right now we're getting a strong movement up, and this could turn into a big V bottom. If that's the case, there is no top, and we're getting ready for a move to 7,000. And if your ego is involved, and you are just like, oh, I definitely know what's going to happen, you're going to miss out on what I believe is one of the greatest opportunities we've seen this year. In fact, most people that have been saying the market's going to crash, that's it, it's all over, you're already missing out on what I believe is probably one of the greatest buying opportunities this year. You've already missed it, should I say. Because guess what I was doing a week ago? Loading up big time in these markets, right? Big time in these markets, right? And I didn't go in on the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq or the Dow. I went in on really just one individual stock that just got demolished for the last couple of months. And I went in hard on that one there, right? And then I'm going to hold it for a period of time. But the purpose of me saying is that if you've been listening to what I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, you'll be knowing that we'll be getting ready for this very strong bounce. And if this is going to be the top, we're going to rally up to here first, let the moving average kiss it, so they kiss each other, then we will start to roll over. If we don't get this scenario, this is not the top. Your ego and your thinking is wrong, and we're about to see a very big, strong V move to the upside, and we're going to have a very strong finish for the rest of this year. And just like this back here is going to be one of these things, and you're going to look back saying, why didn't I buy the market at that time? Because your thinking and your FOMO and your fear and you listening to these bumblebees on the internet saying that's it and looking for the tops in markets. Don't look for tops in markets, because once again, you trying to pick a top, how are you going to be around in 10 years time frame by you trying to continue to pick a top? Because I guarantee you doing that. Oh, it's a double top, John. Oh, it's a heads and shoulder formation. Oh, it's a divergent. Oh, this is definitely going to be the top. How has that gone for you for the last 2 years? Oh, well, you did get it right. Small profit, small profit, small profit. Where have the big profits been with the overall market? So just go with the market. Don't make life harder for yourself. And I just see it so much, right? If you actually want to be around these markets, and it's not about you being right. Oh, I got it right. I called the top. Really? And I made $100,000, John, just recently calling the top. Jeez, how much money did you lose in the last 2 years by getting it wrong? You must have blown up $1 million. Actually, anyway, so you get what I'm trying to say here, right? The top's not in right now. This could just be a short-term freak out. We need to see the market start to roll into a downward trend. Until that happens, guys, here we go. Fireworks in the markets, right? Same for the Nasdaq as well too. Look at the Nasdaq. Hey, did that not? What happened to my thing? There we go. Look at the Nasdaq. What's the Nasdaq saying? Right? What is the Nasdaq saying right now? The Nasdaq saying that was a major support level. We did break down and we actually held this level, and now we're doing what? Now we just gapped up, and what's this thing here? This is called a breakaway gap. If this was a true breakout, and as you can see, the market was rejecting at this level, so it was respecting that line. Now look what the market's doing. It's flipped back up down. We had a big gap up, and now we're doing this level here. What do you expect to come out of the next few weeks? A rally up through here. What I'm expecting is we're about to see something like that. Right? So, for now, we are getting the rally. I've been saying we're going to get the rally. And those who have been positioning themselves the last week, like I have, are benefiting from this rally. Right? And I believe, and I've said it a few times now in the last few weeks, that what we had a week ago was one of the greatest buying opportunities, I believe, this year. Because come a month from now, when we're at all-time new highs, you've missed the boat. And you've missed the boat because you're so your ego and your fear and your FOMO and all this sort of stuff is involved. But I've been telling you the techniques I'm utilizing right now to benefit from this up move. Stop trying to be right. Stop trying to be smart and the inflation, all that sort of stuff. I've been teaching you a few simple trading techniques that's allowed me to benefit from this here. And I'm really benefiting from this because I bought, a week ago. Now things are starting to move in the right direction, right? So we're getting that from there. So what we're probably going to get is on the Nasdaq, we're probably going to get a rally up towards the 21,000 level. Then we can see what's going to happen through there, right? Now it's not going to go straight up, right? We're going to have our red days and all that sort of stuff, right? But it's probably going to get up to 21,000. If the 21,000 doesn't hold and we go straight up, then we're likely to have a move up. And in fact, if I go to the Dow Jones, this false breakout here, look at this here, another false breakout pattern and big gap up. There is now a massive probability, if you know anything about the stock market and chart patterns, that whenever we do get this, support, 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 and then a big breakdown and then holds and we get back above it, guess what? That's now a false breakout, and there's a massive probability we're about to see a move all the way back up to the top of the channel. This is, now most of the time that does happen. And if you're going to say dead cat bounce, that's it, John. No, this is, whatever you're going to call this. For now, no, not dead cat bounce. For now, false breakout, breakaway gap, big move up. Get ready for the next big move to come.